What is up? We're back, and we get a little bit of a healing update here today with this update. We'll talk about the healing side in another video, but today we talking about this guy, the Ent, which is generally just a meme mount, but they did update this thing, so check it out. Starting out, we get the Q, which is an 18% healing received buff at full stacks. The buff is 12 seconds, which is one of the longest buffs in the game, and SBI decided, let's increase the radius, which was the main problem. So now it's a 4-meter radius, and on top of that they said, yeah, that's not enough. Let's go ahead and reduce the cooldown. So you can now just have a 100% uptime on your Q. You literally just walk around spamming Q, and congratulations, everyone just has 18% more healing received. Like, look at the size of this thing. It's 4 meters, same as an arcane cleanse. This thing's massive now. You can just randomly throw it, and people will just accidentally walk through it. It's just a free buff. There was a lot of things wrong with it pre this buff, but the biggest one was its Q. As the radius was too small, you would never constantly have 3 stacks. You maybe would have 1 or 2. But now they decided to buff the radius and the cooldown. Like, it's going to be almost impossible not to have 3 stacks on your entire Zerg. Quick little note, the Q says a buff, but SBI likes to say things and not really mean it, and this is another case of that. It counts as a rejuve stack, so you're not going to purge it with a life curse. It has to be a heavy mace or a great curse. In either case, why would the enemy be using one of those on the clump? They wouldn't, so you're not getting these stacks purged. Moving on, we got the W, which was unplayable up until this update. Right, there's so many stuns, roots, and everything else in the world that's going to interrupt anybody with hands will just stop this from being a thing. So it was unplayable. Now, SBI was like, what can we do? Let's just make it uninterruptable. So there is 0 an enemy Zerg can do about this. And on top of that, I don't know if they realize it, probably, maybe not, who knows, it's SBI. It's a 15-second channel with a 12-second cooldown. So if you can do math, that means your channel is longer than your cooldown. So you can also have a 100% uptime on your W. You can have a 100% uptime on your Q and W. What? Now let's do some quick math. So, if you're not math people, sorry, but your Q, 18% heal received, multiplicative. Your W is 40% heal cast, additive. It's not 40%, it's actually only 25%. Go test it yourself if you want, if you're full of cloth. Or you can just trust me. So you get 25% from your W and 18% from your Q. Now, most would be like, oh, okay, so that's 43% more healing. Wrong, it's 48%. Why? Well, because the multiplicative also picks up some of the additive, because it has to multiply that as well. Again, math things, but who cares? All you gotta know, Ent increases healing and shielding now by 48%, and it has 100% uptime on both of its abilities. That's insane! Now, natures, well, most of them, snapshot, like for Breeze or Blighty, let's just talk about those. So that means they could just walk into this, Blight, press E, and then zoom around wherever he's got to go, and he keeps that bonus for the entire duration of his E. Same with the Breeze. He walks in, he presses Breeze, and boom, for the entire next 8 seconds of those 10 targets who got Breeze, they got the bonus. Holies, yeah, you kind of got a group, so, that is a downside of it. Quick note, the Q doesn't work on the Terry Mage, so you can only use your W, but that's all you need. Just throw 4 healers in there and have them heal the Terry Mage. Mage already was basically unkillable, and you throw this, that can't be interrupted with healers healing the Mage. It's now unkillable. Thanks, SBI. And then finally, we got the last ability, which has nothing to do with healing at all, so that makes me sad. But it's kind of cool. It's a good kiting tool, like, your permacomp, or you just need to slow people. It's just a nothing special, but, unlike some other battle mounts, you actually have a third ability that's useful.